I'll be showing you how to make your own 3D animated physics video using Blender 3D. First off, create your 3D objects using Shift-A and add them to the scene. I'll be adding a sphere, a smaller sphere, and a cylinder. The cylinder and larger sphere will act as my pendulum, while the smaller sphere will act as my hinge. Next, to create a backdrop for our scene, add a plane, press Tab to edit it, select the back edge, press E, Z, next select the corner edge and press Ctrl B, and turn the scroll wheel to create a nice bevel. Next press Tab and right-click the models and select Shade Smooth. Next select the 3D objects, using Shift, make sure the last one you select is the hinge, and press Ctrl P to parent them. Now, let's move on to animations. Drag and expand the bottom view and select it to be the graph editor. Select the hinge object and find the rotation panel, hover over it and press I. This will create a keyframe in the animation. Change the current frame, then change rotation, and then press I again. Add a couple keyframes to complete your animation. After this, go to Output Properties and adjust the overall animation length, frame rate, and output format. As you can see in the animation, it has some slow in and slow out. Go into the graph view and select your rotation animation and adjust the frame interpolation to make the animation more continuous. Using the same pattern, we can create more 3D objects into the scene and animate each of them separately. In my case, I'll be adding a plane into the scene, going into Edit View using Tab and then extruding one edge. I can also resize this extrusion and resize the end point of it so it looks like an arrow. After exiting with Tab again, I can change the location of the arrow and add it next to the pendulum. I will also make the arrow a child of the pendulum as we did previously with the hinge. Next, I will add the arrow as a part of the animation by creating a keyframe of it. I can then create more keyframes in critical locations by changing the arrow's direction as well as its location. With this, I can create the arrow so that it always points towards the direction of movement for the pendulum of itself. Now next, let's adjust our camera's position and press Ctrl-Alt Numpad 0. This will fixate the camera onto the location of our current view. We can adjust the precise location of the camera as well as the precise location of our backdrop to completely fill the screen. Next, press Z and select Material View, and here we can change the material colors of our backdrop, our sphere, as well as our arrow. Next, we can add a couple light sources into our scene by adding them with Shift-A, and with the same Z menu we can select Rendered View. This will show the rendered view of our scene. Finally, we just have to press Ctrl F12 and this will render out our animation. In order to improve the results, we can change the materials as well as the lighting as well as the post-processing effects of our scene to get a better output.